Little did we know, a year ago, when we met for the General Conference, that a year later we would do so under the circumstances that we know. The combination of war again in Europe, the energy crisis that we are living and that was compounded with the climate change and the climate crisis that we already knew and we were fighting against, and the food crisis in a convergence that appears mesmerizing, is in front of us. It is at the same time a source of personal commitment, and of yours as well, I am sure, that we know that in many of the things we do here at the IAEA, we have the ability to mitigate, when not to change, some of these enormous challenges we are facing. And of course, we have first, at the top of our list and our preoccupations, the situation in Ukraine. As the Secretary General has said, this war must stop. But before that happens, we must, and here is where the IAEA comes to play, we must make everything in our power to prevent a nuclear accident that would add tragedy to the suffering. From the beginning of this war, I have been in Ukraine several times, and the missions of the IAEA as well. Recently, as it was reminded to us a minute ago, we were at the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant. A nuclear power plant, the biggest in Europe, which is under fire. Incredible to believe, but true. In front of this reality, we need to act. If something happens there, we will not have a natural catastrophe to blame for. We will just have our own inaction, because we knew what needed to be done. Last week, I had an opportunity to start consultations with Ukraine and with the Russian Federation on the urgent establishment of a nuclear safety and security protection zone around the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant. This is possible. This must be done, and I am ready to continue these consultations in both countries this week, so that we can protect this plant. This issue is, of course, very closely linked to the climate change and the energy crisis we are undergoing. And we know that by virtue of this convergence, which was not imaginable before, many countries, confirmed users of nuclear energy, but also many others, are looking at nuclear energy as a way to ensure their energy needs and also to address another existential crisis that we are facing in the global warming phenomenon that we know.